I'm Kadida Kenner. You're watching Slingshot The Podcast, the misunderstood voice, the culture's power. Well,
yeah.
Today's the premiere.
Yeah.
This is the premiere episode.
Yeah, round of applause for that.
Round of applause
absolutely.
for the premiere episode.
Yeah.
Really excited about this opportunity.
Yeah.
And the opportunity to bring, different topics
Yeah.
to the people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And today, it's a good topic. And I know that we kind of went back and forth about what should today's title be for this episode.
So what is it? You want to tell?
Yeah. I mean, we're going to talk about DEI today, right? We're going to talk about diversity, equity, inclusion.
That scary word. Ooh.
But the title of the episode is,
Yeah.
Damn, I don't want DEI in the title.
Yeah, you got to say it like you mean it.
Yeah. Damn, I don't want DEI in the title.
Yeah. I don't want it. Damn. Damn. No doubt. Yeah, for sure.
But why should we even feel like that?
Yeah.
Right? Because some folks have made DEI a bad word.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's nothing bad about DEI.
Nothing bad about DEI. It's one of those things that has become very scary and spooky, right? A lot of academics have been having this conversation of how to sometimes even reword it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it even safe to say it anymore, right? At certain careers, your career paths, there, should you even take jobs that has anything to do with something black now, it's becoming like a curse word sometimes. DEI now is a substitute sometimes for just black and trying to get a job.
Right.
Right. And we have to do something about that.
Me
We have
too.
to change that.
Right. It's turned into like a euphemism. Like you want to say what you really want to say, but you're going to
Just
call it
say it.
DEI. Like you're a DEI hire.
Yeah. I ain't got a problem with it. I'm just saying.
Look here, I'll be a DEI hire all day because I know I earned it.
You round of applause for
Look
that.
here.
I say, come on, Cletus. That's right. Pair you with me. Let's see what you working with. Because I know what I'm working with, right? Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
So we're going to have a little fun with it today.
Let's have some fun.
We're going to
I
have
like
fun
to
with DEI
fun.
today. And we're going to talk about some sports
Okay. Okay.
that many would not associate with particularly black folks.
Okay. Right.
And you have to add the A onto the DEI.
I was about to say, make sure you say D, because when you say the A,
Yeah.
some people say something with a hard R.
Right.
You say the A.
Right.
You're like, no.
So the A is access.
The A is access.
The A
You
is
get it.
access. And so I'm excited. We're going to talk about 5 sports or sports moments in which, diversity, equity, inclusion, and access
Love that.
really changed the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the first one? You want to start with the first
We'll
one?
start with the first one.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to give it up every day of the week to Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, no round of applause for Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson.
No doubt. Mm-hmm.
And, what he had to go through in life to reach the pinnacle of, the highest expectation in a baseball career.
Yeah.
And he and his family, I think about his wife too,
Mm-hmm.
And I think about what he had to experience on the road and traveling, being the first black baseball player,
Yeah.
And not being able to go and use the same bathroom, the same facilities.
That's hard, man. That's hard. I can't even imagine. Some of the things that the ancestors went through, right? I just can't imagine it. I can't fathom not being able to just drink water. Right. Not being able to go to the bathroom when I want to go to the bathroom. At the door right there, you can't go to that one. You have to, go all the way around back to the outhouse.
Right.
Next to the Gators.
Right.
I can't fathom it.
Could you fathom baseball without Jackie Robinson?
Absolutely not.
Right.
Baseball is Jackie Robinson.
It is.
Yeah.
And so take away the D, the diversity, right? It's not the same game.
It's not.
Right.
We put the sauce in it. He put the sauce in everything.
Right.
Man.
And I uplift Jackie Robinson for this particular episode because this is kind of what brought me to this episode.
Okay.
Is that paying attention to what was happening and how all his attributes, his trophies, his awards were all being taken down.
Yeah.
But they're back up.
Yeah.
Because the people lifted up and said, put those back up.
That's right.
Yeah. So, shout out to Jackie Robinson and everything he was able to overcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. And so when we talk about Jackie Robinson, right, we talk about his legacy now. Mm-hmm. We talk about even his jerseys, his playing cards, and we'll get into the playing cards later, right? But we talk about the path and the doors that he opened for those to come behind him, especially those black and brown little boys and girls, right? Because we shout out to Monet Davis. Remember Monet Davis? Yeah, she played, and so she played baseball. So it's a lot of young ladies that, were encouraged by some of the ancestors to play and play well. And so we need them, and we need to continue to talk and speak truth to power and talk about those legacies, talk about what quote unquote that DEI has done.
Right. And he had no blueprint. Yeah. Right. So he's navigating new waters, and it was not set up for his success either. Yeah. So he had to navigate that and do it in a way so that someone could come after him.
That's right.
So shout out to Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Jackie Robinson. And shout out to the players too. Because I always like to say this, that there was a lot of players who our white counterparts that was like, you know what? We not going to play. Mm-hmm. We not going to play if they don't want you here.
Right.
Or you need a place to stay with us. We got you, and that camaraderie of, just them acknowledging. And that's sometimes that's all we want you to do. Just acknowledge it, right? That's all. We ain't asking for too much. But just acknowledging what it is, what happens, and just holding yourself accountable, holding people accountable, and saying that this is what it is. Yeah.
And shout out to the true allies.
Yeah, there you go. That's what get a round of applause.
Yeah, shout out to the true allies who want to put themselves on the line.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, we start off with Jackie Robinson.
Shout out to Jackie Robinson.
That's where it has to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Shout out to him, and not only just his baseball career, but his military career too, because that's what they were taking down.
Yeah, they don't say too much about his military career when they talk about him. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that kind of gets me into, now we've got Jackie Robinson, so now I gotta give it to the ladies.
Okay.
The young
Shout
ladies.
out to the young ladies. Yeah.
Shout out to the young ladies.
I got something for the young ladies.
And I want to hear about some young ladies out in Philadelphia.
That's right.
And the sport of volleyball.
Let me get a round of applause for that. Shout out to that. Let's get a round of applause for that. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, so this is the thing. This is why I'm super excited about this, is because they happen to be in West Philadelphia, man. That's where I'm from. But at Overbrook High, that's my alma mater. So I was super excited to hear about what's going on over there in Overbrook, especially in contrast to what we would normally hear that happens in West Philadelphia, right? And so that said, shout out to Will Smith, was in town. They named the street after him, right on the corner where the castle on the hill is what they call Overbrook, right? So check this out. Shout out to the girls. The girls volleyball team at Overbrook. I got some facts here for y'all. High school celebrates undefeated season. The Overbrook High School women's volleyball team has recently achieved a significant milestone. In the 2024-2025 season, they celebrated an undefeated season, making a historic moment in the school's athletic history. The achievement makes them the only varsity team at Overbrook High School to accomplish such a feat.
Wow.
Big deal. Shout out to young ladies doing that. And again, when we talk DEI, right? Again, a sport, right, that black folk wouldn't normally fall under volleyball. You think, volleyball. Nah, it's not them, right? Not people in the hood. They not doing that, right? And so, so what's your thoughts? Yeah.
I'm always going to be encouraging of anyone who's trying to do something different. I mean, we're known. So that's a sport that happens, that's around the same time as basketball.
Yeah.
So it's either you're going to play basketball or you're going to play volleyball.
Yeah.
And so shout out to the tall young ladies, I'm sure, from Overbrook High School.
Some of them was short too, surprisingly. Yeah.
They chose volleyball over basketball.
How about that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they chose volleyball over basketball, or maybe some of them playing on both teams at the same time.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
But I'm always encouraging of someone who wants to try something different, diversify, right? Your experience. I it's accustomed to, trying field hockey or lacrosse.
That's right.
Even tennis.
Yeah. During the Will Smith street naming, the mayor actually gave him a key. Also, gave him the key to the city, and the principal was from Overbrook, was actually on stage as Will Smith was getting honored. But he talked a lot about the enrollment at Overbrook High School. If you don't know, right, Overbrook High School has went through some things, right? And enrollment was very, very low. He has turned it around. So he's doing something over there. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe you can have him on the show to talk to you. We're talking DEI, right? And so he's been doing some amazing things with the school over there. They just released with Councilman Curtis Jones Jr. Just gave a few $100,000 to do a studio in there, and they're doing some stuff in Overbrook, and they're doing some amazing things. And so, again, when we talk about DEI, even schools and athletics, I have had the opportunity to tour Haverford,
right?
Haverford High, and actually, it's not just a high school; they started kindergarten, and not seeing, for those coming out of the community, not seeing that type of environment, that's certain things they don't have that access, that aid to, right? And so that changes some people's minds, just being able to see, right? Normally what they see, basketball, that's all they do, right? But being exposed, is about that exposure, right? Exposing them to certain things, something different. That's what true DEI is, right? Yeah.
And I'm going to go on the E part, which is equity.
All right, there you go. Yeah.
Right? And so when I think about Overbrook High, even the whole area, I always compare that against right across the street on the other side of City Avenue, which is Lower Marion.
Yeah.
Right? And so when you talk about equity, our schools are funded based upon property tax.
Yeah.
And so property tax is a little higher on the other side of City Line Avenue.
Okay.
I call it City Line Avenue still.
Yeah.
It's City Avenue, City Line Avenue.
City Line.
And, they have, although they still aren't fully funded the way they should, Lower Marion, they have access to all these things. They have access to volleyball. They have access to golf. They have access to some of these things that other schools don't have. So equity is important so that all students have the ability to, learn new things.
Yeah.
And you won't have that experience if your school is not funded in a way that can happen. It's not a child's issue of where they're born.
Yeah.
I just happened to be born in 19380. Right? 19380 allowed me the opportunity to play sports like field hockey and lacrosse.
Yeah. No doubt.
Right? But when the happenstance of your birth dictates what type of education you can get or what type of sports you can actually play in high school at a competitive level.
How about that?
You can't control that as a 14-year-old.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. That access. Even. I didn't think of that, and that's important. Yeah, that's important. Absolutely. Yeah. So you don't think about that. You don't think about playing at a competitive level. Right. Different schools who actually had the access to have that training that they get. Right. Versus we can only do what we do. Right. And so that's when a lot of our raw talent showed up. We put the sauce on everything, right? And so I think it's important for us to start to acknowledge certain inequities, right? And see how we can equalize that a little bit, right?
Because you have the same students chasing after the same amount of scholarships for basketball.
Yeah.
But if you open up and now you've chosen another sport that happens at the same time, you might have a better shot to get a college scholarship in volleyball than you would in basketball.
That's right.
But how can you get a volleyball scholarship for college if your school doesn't have volleyball?
That's true.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. And
not everybody can afford those other leagues that you got to pay hundreds of dollars for outside of schools.
Yeah, the travel teams alone.
Right.
Gee, I ain't gonna get a travel team. I'm having flashbacks, especially I got a young buck in Little League. So it's just like We talking about travel team, and then a regular league.
Right.
Regular league, then a travel league, right? And then the bats, that's like 300. Why I don't understand why the bats is expensive. That's trauma. I'm trauma talking right now. That's what I'm just saying.
You're watching Slingshot the Podcast. This is more than just a podcast. This is a movement to inspire and motivate and mobilize. This is for those whose voices have been unheard, misunderstood, undervalued, and underserved. We're going to talk about sports, culture, entertainment, and we're going to use this to build power in our communities.
No doubt. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, there's lots of other sports. So we just did the ladies. We did the young ladies.
That's right.
I want to talk about black ice.
Black ice. We not talking about ice, black ice. We talk about black ice.
Black ice.
There you go.
That's right.
So let's talk about black ice. Yeah.
So for those who may not know, and I encourage you to do a little Google, and I want you to Google Black Ice. It's a documentary. It's about black folks playing ice hockey.
Right. Let's try and get a round of applause for black folks, man.
Black folks on skates playing ice hockey.
Yeah, give a round of applause for that. There you go. Yeah, for sure.
And so this isn't something new.
Yeah.
Black folks have been on ice playing ice hockey for decades.
That's right.
I mean, it originated in Canada, so, America can't claim this.
Yeah.
But some of the greatest hockey players to have ever played the game are black men.
That's right.
And I think about Willie O'Ree,
okay,
the original
OG
of ice hockey. for the NHL.
Yeah.
And I think about all he had to overcome. Mm-hmm. I give Boston a lot of crap, right? Like, Boston's probably one of my least favorite cities, sports cities.
Okay.
Out there, but they're credited with like bringing in the first black person to do this and that.
Wow.
And so Boston.
Wow, okay.
So we're going to give it up to Boston for that.
Give a round of applause for Boston. Everybody give a round of applause for Boston. Okay, yeah, no doubt.
But Willie O'Ree, I think about Grant Fuhr.
Okay.
Probably the most well-known of the black hockey players. Originally, he was a goalie. And so, I was exposed to hockey at a young age because my dad was in love with ice hockey.
Yeah.
And shout out to my dad from the south side of Chicago. Yeah. Give it up to 67 and Eberhard. 67 and Eberhard.
Shout out to Dad. Yeah, no doubt.
And somehow, some way, he was exposed to ice hockey early on.
Okay.
And that exposure, right, that access to the sport, made him, follow it. And he attends to some of the Flyers games.
Yeah.
He goes in there like he's Norm from Cheers. Remember that? When you walk into the bar and everybody's like, Norm.
Yeah, we dating ourselves right now.
Right. So my dad would walk into the Flyers games and they'll be like, Mud Flab. That's his nickname.
Okay.
They'll be like, Mud Flab when he walks in to watch ice hockey and watch the Flyers play. But ice hockey is a really cool game.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of skill. You have to skate and you got to shoot this puck. Yeah. Right, and you gotta stay upright, and you might have to fight somebody.
Shout out to the Broad Street Bullies, y'all.
Broad Street Bullies.
Yeah, no doubt. Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna give it up to the Penguins too. They haven't done too much. They're Pittsburgh Penguins, but I'm gonna give it up to them too, since we talk about Pennsylvania.
Yeah, for sure.
But ice hockey, I think there's no more exciting last 1 minute in any sport than ice hockey. Did you watch the Flyers play in the Stanley Cup several years back?
I did, and I missed that. Yeah.
It was so exciting because it came down to the final game of the series.
Yeah.
In the final minute, and it's just heart stopping.
Yeah.
So, I'm a fan of ice hockey. I did some figure skating as a young buck.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Growing up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And my mom wanted me to be the next Ty Babylonia. Shout out to Ty Babylonia.
Shout out to her, right? No doubt.
And so I got exposed to ice hockey. So much so, my dad cared about it so much. Right. You have these over here.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple. There is nothing in these binders except black hockey players and their cards, their trading cards. It's all black hockey players. There's thousands of them.
That's
and some players have their own. Donald Brashear, who played for the Flyers, has his own binder.
Wow.
So my dad has, over the years, collected thousands of hockey cards, but only of the black players.
Look at this. Look at this right here.
Only of the black players.
Look at this. He popped up right here. I mean, Jerome.
Oh, yeah. It's nothing but black hockey players and their cards. And so, almost at this point, every single NHL team has almost one black hockey player on their team.
That's great.
So it's growing in popularity.
It needs to.
And this one is all about the A. It's all about the access.
The access, yes.
So, I mentioned earlier, that I grew up in 19380.
Yeah.
And we had an ice hockey team in my high school because we had access to a hockey rink.
That's great.
But not everybody has that access to a hockey rink.
Yeah. Especially when we in the hood. But that's the thing. I think there's a place in Philadelphia, in West Philadelphia, 63rd Street, where they got an ice skating ring. I forgot the name of it. But I remember when they built that rink, and it was important, and they talked a lot about access.
Yeah.
Having access to certain things, from ice hockey to skating, ice skating, right? We need more access, and that's what it is. Going to certain schools. I had the opportunity to go to a few schools and see different things, and it's just like, how come we don't have that access?
Right.
I wish I had that. I probably would be playing hockey if I knew about that. Right?
You just need that inclusion. Somebody needs to include you in this.
See, there you go.
Right.
And
no,
we need that inclusion.
Inclusion.
Well, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated is built on inclusion, not exclusion. I'm just saying. Blue Phi. No, no doubt. Yeah. So, we have to do more with access and amplifying what those messages are, right? So people do know. And I think this is a dynamic podcast because you now had the ability to shine a light, on certain things to say, hey, this is something that we need access to or need to be included in, right? This is something that's not as diverse as it should be, right? And so when we talk about DEI, just to bring it back to that, those words are not bad words, right? They're words that's necessary. It's a necessary thing for people to understand why we have those particular three letters, including A, is significant to where we're trying to go and where we should be. Not even trying, where we should be.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So we've talked so far. And another thing, too, about this, about ice hockey. It's another sport that you're trying to compete for all these basketball scholarships.
Yeah.
But if you're playing ice hockey, you might have a better shot at getting a college scholarship.
Y'all better learn how to skate. Yeah.
Right. You have some moms that don't want their kids to play football because they don't want to get injured. So they put them into baseball where there's less entry opportunities for other sports. I mean, but ice hockey, you might lose a tooth.
Yeah. or two. Or three. No, this is Slingshot The Podcast. No, for sure. Yeah. It's a good thing. We got to try to start putting those. See, we need organizations that's constantly putting that word out like, yo, we got a black team here. And we're not excluding anyone. We're trying to include.
That's right.
So to say that we have a black team isn't saying we don't have a white team. We're saying that there needs to be teams that's more inclusive, and we're trying to get that inclusivity. Right. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Well, when I think about more opportunities to have access,
okay,
I'm now going to think about the swimming pool.
It was some swimming.
Yeah.
There you go. Let me get a round of applause. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that transition, right? Check this out. All right, I got some more facts over here. So we're going to jump right into Howard University swim team. Shout out to Howard University. Here goes some facts, y'all. So we did some research and we found this out. And we seen a lot of talking and press around what these gentlemen are doing. Just the whole team. Recent achievements. Howard University Bison claimed their second Northeast Conference NEC championship title in 3 years on February 23rd, 2025. This victory was secured in a thrilling finish, with the team holding on to first place throughout the 4-day event and clinching the win in the final 400 free relay. It was that. We want to talk about heart stopping. You should have watched that. So this is the historic significance. Remember, we talked about the word only, right? Listen to this. Howard University is the only historically black college or university, HBCU, with a varsity swimming team.
Wow.
That's crazy. The only. The team has been breaking barriers and changing the landscape of collegiate swimming. Here's some notables. They hosted the first Battle at the Burr in 2022, revolutionizing the approach to swim meets with DJ performances, dance troops, and large crowds. They probably had some food, too. You know how we get down, y'all. All right, the program has broken over 60 school swim records during SQ tenure, and Howard's success has inspired. Talk about inspiration, right? That's very important. Inspire other schools to make swimming events more engaging and spectator friendly. Inclusion. And the way that you do that is by inspiration. You have to inspire people to want to do certain things. And I believe that this women team did. So shout out to them.
Shout out to Howard University.
Yeah,
is that the real HU?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm going to have people from Hampton mad at us.
Yeah, that's the real HU. Yeah, that's the real HU right there, right? You know, Hampton. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Howard. It got to be Howard. Gotta be Howard. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, I say this. I think about swimming, and I think about historical context of us even having the ability to swim.
Yeah.
Right? Because there was a time here in America in which if we dipped our toe in a pool, they would drain the pool. Right?
Unbelievable.
They would drain the pool so that we wouldn't have then access to that pool. So, now that segregation and accommodations is unconstitutional, you can't drain a pool because we step our foot in it.
Yeah.
But what we can do, though, is also create our own spaces.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think about the Nile Swim Club in Delaware County.
Shout out to the Nile.
We're in Delaware County right now, so shout out to Delaware County, Nile Swim Club.
Yep.
And the fact that it's a black-owned swim club to allow black folks the opportunity to learn how to swim.
That's right.
And get good at swimming.
Right.
And competitive in swimming. Mm. Access.
Yeah,
very important.
That's right. What's also very exhilarating to watch? Throwing a head up. Alabama style, throwing a head up. And a young man actually jumped off the boat to swim across to help the man. Right?
Yes, he did.
And so when we talk about different things or sports or athletics that black folk, you wouldn't consider black folk normally doing.
Yeah.
That's one of them, swimming. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's an opportunity to change your life again.
Yeah.
Right? It's another sport that you have an opportunity to learn and excel and be competitive.
Yeah.
And, pay for college or pay for anything else.
That's right.
You need to pay for it.
That's right. All right. No doubt. Yeah. You know what it is now, right?
It's coming to the end. We're on number 5 now.
Number 5 coming to the end.
Number 5. So we're both Eagles fans. Philadelphia Eagles fans. Shout out. Super Bowl champion. Philadelphia Eagles.
That's right.
EAGLEES.
Yeah, that's how you really spell it, huh? Okay. Shout out to the mayor, though.
Yeah, shout out to the mayor. That's another first.
Yeah, they 100. Shout out to Mayor Sherelle Parker, 100. That's another first.
Yeah.
DEI.
An HBCU graduate, Lincoln University.
Shout out to her. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So we're Eagles fans, and I know I was glued to the TV.
So was I.
Watching halftime.
I was going crazy.
So number 5, we're going to give it up to Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. Round of applause for him. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, we're going to throw up some statistics here so you can see how impactful his halftime performance was. But he was the first rapper to be given the stage as a solo artist. That was the first.
Okay.
So it garnered a lot of FEC attention because people complained.
Yeah.
But it's also the number 1 viewed halftime performance of all time.
That's nuts, though. And what's crazy about that is that happened during our time.
Right.
Right.
Black History Month.
Black History. How about that? Yeah. Wow. Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So exciting. I mean, it's not even about the Drake beef. It was well beyond that.
Yeah, for sure.
And the next day when you saw videos out of Africa of children emulating
worldwide.
His stroll.
Yeah.
It was global.
Global world.
And they're still doing it to this day.
Till this day. I told you I seen an Asian guy doing it, an Asian group doing it. The African, you mentioned the African, kids that went together and put that whole skit together. And I mean, I'm seeing it's across the country. Right. It's crazy.
Right. Our Latino brothers and sisters, they broke it down and did it in Spanish.
Oh, that's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
The mayonnaise folk though. don't do it. That's all I'm saying. Don't do it.
If you put raisins in your potato salad,
yeah, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Just watch and just support us from afar, right? That's all. Yeah. Y'all wasn't doing the step right. Y'all wasn't doing the 2-step right. Leave it alone. We still love y'all though, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we've come towards the end of our top 5 for the first episode of our episode entitled "Damn, I Don't Want DEI in the Title."
Damn, you gotta do damn. I don't want DEI in the title.
I don't want DEI in the title.
Yeah.
And I say that because I think it's, I'm going to speak to you out here.
Yeah,
I think it's important for us to actually say the words.
Yeah.
Because when you can minimalize it by just using 3 letters, it takes away the power of the actual words. So it is diversity, equity, inclusion, and there's nothing wrong with it. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be sitting here today without it.
Right.
And there is no shame in this game in terms of how diversity, equity, and inclusion has allowed me to have any type of success that I currently enjoy.
That's right. And access.
That's
right.
19380. It might as well be Beverly Hills 90210. As far as I'm concerned, lucky enough to be born in that zip code that afforded me opportunities to have access to some things that others may not. And so let's open that up to everybody.
I love that. Before we end, right, I want you to I think it's important for people to know, the people who's watching, to understand why you created this podcast.
Yeah. There's so many folks who are misunderstood, unheard from, underrepresented. And I think there's so many people who don't think that politics impact our daily lives. And all the things that we talked about today have some kind of political background to it.
Yeah.
Be it segregation, which was a policy.
Yeah.
School funding, which doesn't allow for some kids to experience the same type of learning experience and environment than others. Volleyball.
Yeah.
The ability just to play a different sport and not be pigeonholed into the same sports that we're known for and that we're great at.
Yeah.
So, the idea of this is that we're going to talk about issues that move the culture. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about some of the forces that shape it. And really excited about what's going to happen and all the important conversations we're going to have this year and beyond.
Yeah, found out. Yeah. Round of applause to you. Slingshot the Podcast, y'all. I'm your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful
Kadida Kenner.
And make sure you continue to tune in, and we out here like last year, y'all.
That's right. Have a good one. Thank you. Hi, I'm Kadida Kenner, and you're watching Slingshot the Podcast, the misunderstood voice, the culture's power.